Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Rex Rumpleby here, getting ready to start another run of survival mode in the Long Dark. Been doing the triple death challenges from Pilgrim through Stalker, and the time has come to give it a go on Interloper. This is going to be extremely difficult for me. I don't know if I can actually do this. I was thinking about it, and I believe if I spawn on a forgiving map, then it could potentially be possible, but there's very few options to where it seems plausible. But we'll give it a try, and we'll see how we do. We're going to go female character, no feats. Scurvy stays on, and in honor of Roxie, we bring her back. Roxie the Revenant, to give it a try. Let's see what happens. Alright, well, it looks like they set us up perfectly for death number 1. I think this might be Black Rock. Oh, Hush River Valley. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time. Just look at the kit that you get on Interloper. Pretty minimal. You have the recycled can. Is your only piece of gear and minimal amount of clothing to get started. We're going to strip down. We're going to drop all, and off we go. So like we've done with all the other series, we're going to take the short-term penalty, do a close risky spawn for the first 2, and then a far away and safe spawn on the 3rd one, which will randomize the map and prevent us from predicting where we're going to go. The only thing we will know is that we won't be in Hush River Valley. Doesn't take too long to freeze to death without clothes on Interloper, less than 2 hours. And we're done. Cheat death for the 2nd time. Short-term penalty. Close risky spawn. Doesn't matter where we are. 2 hours to go. 2 hours to die. No more chances. Cheat death. I'm going to take the short-term penalty. 75% condition reduction for 30 days. And a far safe respawn. Alright. Let's see how safe we are. Alright, Jackrabbit Island on Coastal Highway, right in front of the house. This and a heavy hammer waiting for us at the doorstep. This could be very possible, especially with that heavy hammer there. That's crazy. I've never seen a heavy hammer there. Maybe I've seen a hatchet, but we have water. Hopefully we'll have some kind of clothing, but even if we don't, we're warm inside, which means that we can recover our warmth and then hopefully skip from cabin to cabin across the bottom tier of Coastal Highway, which would include the fishing camp, the log sort, obviously the town site, which is going to have the Quincy's garage, and then moving to the east side of the map, we've got the waterfront cottages, which ultimately is the gateway to Desolation Point that has a forge and a mine with coal. So if we can get relatively stabilized here in Coastal Highway, at least a little bit of clothing and some supplies that will allow us to move from the previously mentioned locations to one another, I think this is as good a chance as we've got to try to make this happen. The fact that that heavy hammer there was right there on the spawn is kind of unbelievable. It's like they're setting us up for success. We already got a little bit of food. There actually isn't a whole lot here in terms of staying warm, but we do have water, and we do have a little bit of food. I'm just going to kind of scour this place, make sure I didn't overlook anything. It would be great to find a recycled can. And I mean, we did pick up this can of beans. So if we can procure a can opener or make it to Desolation Point and craft a improvised knife, we'll be able to open that can and retain it as a recycled can for boiling water. All right, that's all they're going to give us here. It's the middle of the day. I think I'm going to head straight across once I get outside and go over to either log sort or fishing camp. Can't remember what's directly across. It might be log sort. Or I could go over to Misanthrope directly from here. That might be a better idea because there's a little bit more water over there, a little bit more chance of clothing and food. And then I can go to the waterfront cottages and either backtrack to Quincy's or head to Desolation Point for forging, depending on what I find. So let's do that. I'm going to eat this little bit of rabbit so I can try to get some sleep to warm up. Just enough, hopefully, to get us across the way. One of the most difficult components of this challenge is that you can't take a lot of cold damage while you're outside. So our movements have to be really decisive. And we're probably going to do quite a bit of running, but that's also going to use our energy. Which is going to require more food and resources. So it's like a double-edged sword. Do I run to save time or do I walk to conserve energy? And I don't know the answer to that question. I think it's probably going to vary depending on the scenario. Right now I'm going to walk because I'm not that cold. I mean, I'm losing temperature quickly, but at least it's not full deflection. So I can hit this little ice fishing hut, and then right up above us, straight ahead, is Misanthrope's Island and another cabin that will have water. I think I see birds circling up there too, which means there'll be some kind of a carcass to inspect. So we got to make this quick. Not a piece of recycled or reclaimed wood. Alright. I'm surprisingly not that cold. I think I'm going to make it to Misanthropes before I even have a hypothermia risk, which is excellent. He's got nothing. Come on now. Be great to get 3 of those. Oh, he juked me. I'm having some weird lagging. I don't know if you guys can see that. I think I pressed my screenshot button on the controller. Do have a little bit of time to try again. Come back for that though. Something's up here. Oof, that scared me. I was gonna say it sounds too big to be a bunny rabbit. Okay. Back inside we go. Where we are once again warm, and look at that. Matches. A little bit more food too. I think it's probably going to be worth it to go to the town site and raid all of the cabins, because that's going to be our best chance for clothing. There's a general, I guess, like memory item for survival in the wilderness, like the law of threes, or the rule of threes, where you can survive for 3 minutes without air. You can survive for 3 hours without shelter. You can survive for 3 days without water. And you can survive for 3 weeks without food. So that's how you're supposed to prioritize your tasks if you find yourself stranded in the wilderness. Or you become stranded. That would be how to preserve your supplies, and how to prolong your survival, right? Like if you're drowning or you can't breathe, you'll be dead in a matter of minutes. And then if you get stuck outside in the elements without any kind of shelter, you can die within hours from exposure. And that's true in the game as much as it is in real life, right? If you find yourself caught in a blizzard, you can freeze to death. You're lost and you can't get inside or find shelter. And then the other two, they kind of drop off a little less realistically in the game, but obviously water is more important than food right away. You can go hungry in this game for longer than you can go thirsty, and take minimal damage with your with being starving until you try to sleep. So the rule of threes, good way to kind of visualize what you need to do in order to stabilize yourself, and it can be taken. Man, I'll be almost completely hungry after I do this. What if we it takes an hour to do the meat? I mean, I really want to get these going. The meat is not quite as important. Oh shoot, I'm gonna go thirsty. So that was unnecessary amount of damage to take there. It's almost worth it to start a fire and cook up this meat, but I think I'm gonna wait until I get across the street to the waterfront cottage. Hopefully I can see it before I walk over there and make sure that it's not destroyed, because sometimes there's a few of them that have like burned to the ground. I think those wolves might... Oh, and there's a bear. So, I'm just gonna expedite this. That didn't really warm up very much either. I think I'm far enough away from the bear, but... The wolves are scared of the bear, so he's protecting me a little bit. Alright, I gotta get across. I do see one structure standing. I thought I did. It was like the backdrop of the mountain against this burned out house, so I might have made a mistake here. They're all burned down. So now I gotta try to book it to the town, which is kind of a ways to go. I'm not ready to go to Desolation Point. I'll freeze to death. I can maybe shortcut this. I thought I saw a building with a snow-capped roof, but it was the mountain behind it that was like filling in the empty space of the destroyed building. I might not make it. Once I get to the garage, I can make a fire, which will allow me to cook up the fish, and I can prepare the rest of these rabbits as well. So if I can make it, I think I'll be all right, but it's going to be close. That was a critical error in judgment. Here comes the heartbeat. I did pick up a few sticks along the way. So I should be able to start a fire as soon as I get inside. And hopefully there'll be a few items for me as well. But I've got water and I need tinder and I need to make fire. This is like as close as you want to cut it. Okay, we have fire. I need to start warming up. Very quickly. I'm just going to scratch this. I can't starve to death. Am I... Okay. Jesus. I mean... I'll be amazed if I... get out of this one. I mean, technically... I should be stable in here. I'm warming up. I wonder if there's a can laying around. Sometimes there is. There's some more food. And look at that, I can. Awesome. Okay. 28 minutes. I take a torch before I forget. I'm not going to pass time because I'm afraid that I'll die. like 15 minutes. I guess I can try it. Okay, I'm gonna eat that. We're gonna cook that. Got 37 minutes of fire. 8 minutes until that's boiled. 18 minutes. I don't think it'll burn if I just leave it. So I'm just gonna stand here until this is done. And then I'm gonna go to sleep for 10 hours. And the bed's right there. Okay. Gotta make sure you're fully hydrated. Let's see what happens. Come on, Roxie. Live. Okay. We survived the night. And the rabbit did cook. Did I see a... Let's see. I think I saw a storm lantern over here. Yes. And it's full. Man, they are really giving us a chance. I'm in a pretty safe spot now because I've got at least a few buildings that I can try to search. I probably am cold in here. Yes, I am. That's a problem. Cold in the garage, so I'm gonna loot quickly, and then I'm gonna move over to the next house, and hopefully I can be warm in the house. I mean, any piece of clothing would be good. I think, actually, I found a pair of socks that I forgot to put on. That's not going to do anything, but... Oh, is that another can? Yes, it is. Anything under these boxes? Not there. I'll clear the junk, too. Okay, I already looked at those ones. Those simple tools can stay right there. I need to skin these rabbits, but I can't do it in here because I'm too cold. Anything? Nothing. Alright. That does not require my attention. Even more water. Two lockers that we need a pry bar for. Nothing in those boxes. A little extra food. Okay. Here we go. Very, very cold out here. Okay, there's a house across the way. I need to watch out for wolves too because I'm pretty loaded with wolf food. Try to get over there before I take any damage. Hopefully I'll be warm in this house. I was warm in the other cabin, so I'm assuming I will be. Yes, I am. Alright. Alright, a pair of boots, and a good pair of boots, too. Those will add some warmth. We'll go upstairs first and then come back down. Another pair of socks. Not super helpful. Okay, we don't have a sewing kit, but when we do, I want to be ready to make a makeshift hat and gloves. So I'm going to take curtains. As I see them, this is helping me warm up a little bit as well, spending time in here. And I'm going to finish up these rabbits. 0.1, that's not even worth spending the time on. I don't have enough calories in me for that, so we'll do the meat first, I guess. We'll do beef jerky first. And then we'll do just the hide. $40 minutes. Alright, so I need one more rabbit pelt. I think that the rabbit skin hat only costs 1 guts. Yeah, so I'm not going to spend the time on that other one right now. Alright, let's loot the kitchen and keep moving. When I had to spend that 10 minutes to make tinder, I thought I was going to expire. That was sketchy. Which, I'm glad I did it because I was thinking about maybe looting the gas station and seeing if I could find some newspaper or something, but when we ended up doing it in the morning, there was nothing there, so we would have just wasted a bunch of time and probably would have died. Okay, I'd like to warm up a little bit before I run to the next one. But I also don't want to expend a whole lot of calories. I did find some chips. I guess I'll eat them. Maybe after I do the rabbit meat. Because then I at least have something to replace those calories with, even though the rabbit meat is almost worthless. So, I guess I'll see if the boots made me warm in the garage. Because if not, I might have to take up this cabin as a... I'm just going to look in these cars. If I don't see a hat or gloves, I'm not even going to bother with them. That might be the only cabin that's standing here in town. I think it is. There's one up the hill. I'm too cold to run for it right now, though. I'm going to build another fire. Did I pick up enough? Okay, still cold in here. No tinder? Shoot. That was an oversight. I thought I made enough with the sticks. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put this out. Wasted a match. And I'm gonna sleep for an hour. I'm barely gonna get warm with that. But I can at least maybe wake up and make more tinder. Five minutes. Oh, he only makes 2 with the stick. I think she makes 4 with the with newspaper. That's why I thought I was gonna have more. Should have done this over at the cabin instead of the garage here. Basically, I want to make some fire. I'll boil some water while I have the fire going. But I just want to... I'm hoping that I have enough rose hips to make a tea. And okay, I am warming up. No, I didn't even pick up enough. This is grim. Because I'm really not even like warming up in here. I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm like barely getting warm. Got 19 minutes till boiled. I think I looted this place pretty good. Missed that, which is actually... That's actually a pretty useful thing to pick up because we can force ourselves to get food poisoning and sleep when we're not necessarily tired. I should have definitely cooked that. That was another mistake. Okay, so 10 minutes. Let's just do it. Get one of these out of here. 26 minutes. Just pass the time. Eat that. Drink water. Take a torch and go. I'm gonna go up the hill to that one. It should be standing. I don't think that one is ever burned down. I don't know that for a fact, but we're about to find out. if I can just get a few more clothing items or potentially a sewing kit, I can at least like neutralize my frostbite risk and hopefully be able to like move around. Oh, it's burned down too. Well, that's horrible. I think I'm going to risk it and head up to this little plane crash that's up here, because sometimes there's a couple of suitcases that have a few items of clothing. And it's risky because I'm going to be losing a lot of health, and if I don't find anything, it's a long walk back. Nothing. Best. Oh, it was so worth it. Now I gotta hustle. I'm gonna skip the garage and go back to my little cabin. I'm gonna warm up and then basically like take little short stints of getting outside and collecting some sticks and some firewood. Now I have, I think, enough rose hips to make 1 tea, which will hopefully allow me to make it to the log sort. I'm gonna kind of need a full sleep again to recover. There goes my torch. Oh, I need to put down these rabbit pelts too. I'm gonna use this cabin for the time being. Although I might be warm in the garage now that I have a few articles of clothing on. But so as not to risk it for now, we'll just leave that here. And then yeah, I do have these. Might as well make a few of these while I'm here. Okay. And I'll pull some cloth off of the curtains as well. Take a little time, just warm up a little bit. I'm gonna have to eat some of this food, but it's questionable. I have antibiotics though, so it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna save the peaches for now until I get critically hungry. I'm gonna drop this rabbit. It's just the guts. Let's just remember that he's here. Make that our little carcass table. Okay. Another curtain. Might as well keep grabbing some cloth. So, by no means are we stabilized, but we've got a pretty good start here. +3 on warmth bonus. Roxie's looking pretty mean, actually. "57 hours until our stamina comes back and our condition is able to recover at a normal pace, but that doesn't eliminate the cheat death penalty, which is our 75% condition reduction, the big red bar at the bottom of my character's profile there. So we're going to be working with 25% health for several days, several weeks. I need to keep moving, but I need to get warm. So I think I'll sleep for 2 hours upstairs. I'd really like to take advantage of... Oh, there's another rabbit carcass. What did I leave on this guy? It's just like 0.1. Yeah, that guy will disappear in the zone pretty soon, I think. Maybe just 1 hour of sleep. Just try to get warm for the next push. I'm going to run over to the garage and see if I'm warm in there. If I am, we can start. Okay, completely warm after an hour of sleep. That's excellent. That makes me think I might be warm in the garage now. And if that's the case, then I can establish my base a little more comfortably, because I'll be able to make fire and also be inside without being cold. And I am warm in here now, so that's fantastic. Man, I'm glad I decided to go up to that little plane crash. It's such an obscure location, and it really rarely has anything that's like worth checking out on easier difficulties, because you already have all that gear. Oh, I thought that was something. But in this case, it was like everything that we needed in that moment. And I mean, the combat pants, to find combat pants is like the best pair of pants that you can find without making them yourself. So that was a big win. I just remembered that there's some cabins across the street that we might be able to go to. I also need to take down one more rabbit, and I need to keep collecting firewood. There is one standing here. Okay. Should probably start a fire and make that rosehip tea before I try to walk to Logswort, because Logswort is a bit of a hoof. In fact, if I go up the hill, there's a trailer. I could warm up there for a second and then keep going across. And I believe there are like those 3 cabins. And then from there I might be able to drop right down into Logswort and kind of take that line so that I've got shelters closer together. The problem with going up there is that there's a bear that patrols that road. Some more food. And I'm really not equipped in any way to confront a bear that surprises me. But it's a long walk along the ice if I don't take that route. So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. Nice. nice. 2 shirts. Plus 3 warmth bonus. If I can make gloves and a hat, I'm going to be in pretty good shape. And the fact that we just keep collecting water is awesome. How much cloth did I end up getting? 14 cloth. I'd say I have enough cloth for now. Alright. Sun is setting, which sometimes means that it's warmer outside. So I'm going to actually eat this granola bar and top off on water. Do I just sprint to... see if we can clean the junk in here. Yeah. Oops. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm already down here, so I'm like tempted to just go for it. How quickly? Okay, I'm not losing warmth that quickly. Problem with log sort is there might be nothing there. But I have to start heading that direction anyway because the fishing camp and then up the road is where I'm going to get all the cattails that are going to help me make the move to Desolation Point. So yeah, I'm just going to sprint for it and hope to find something. Then I can go into the mine, the scene of the crime, as it were, where Roxie's soul rests in peace, her Voyager soul. Which is, I just realized this is where this is the map that we were recovering on in Voyager Challenge. So Roxie's out for redemption. Found a pair of mittens. It's getting better and better. Am I heavy? Not yet. 30-pound carry capacity. Log sort looks kind of cleared out. Doing pretty good on warmth. I think I'll go into the mine first because of that. There's one trailer up there standing, maybe even a cabin. I know one of those cabins is like boarded up, but I might see 2. I meant to mention earlier as I walked by the like old man's beard lichen that you can pull from the trees. I'll skip over those probably for the duration of our recovery period because it's antiseptic that's used for an animal bite. If we get attacked by an animal, we're gonna die. So it's just a waste of time to pull those down. They will be of no use to us until we have recovered some condition. Alright, this is really good. We've got some mushrooms. We've got another set of rose hips that we can harvest. And now we're going to be able to start making some tea that's going to allow us to walk. I should have left that heavy hammer at the garage. You don't need to be walking around with it, but... Okay, I'm going to work my way from the back. See if there's anything in here. I already see some coal. which is going to be super helpful to bring to Desolation Point and use for forging. We'll have to get through the crumbling highway, which is patrolled by wolves pretty consistently. And we'll have to cover a lot of ground from crumbling highway to the lighthouse. It doesn't seem like it's that far, but when you're cold, it's a long ways to walk. We are warm in these mines though, so that's huge. That's going to be a major benefit. And we were just finding just enough food along the way here and there to like live day to day. I need to probably start thinking about getting 2 more guts curing, as well as a maple sapling so that I can make a bow and start being a little self-sufficient hunter. I'm stumbling again. Kill this lantern. Ooh, that seems nice. Roxie just needs a hat and she is good to go. I'm gonna eat crackers. I might even be able to make it to fishing camp tonight. Take one quick look here because I kind of scooted right by this entrance. Sometimes there's something laying around. Not this time. Alright. When we get to log sort, I might spend the time to harvest all of these mushrooms and rose hips so that I can walk with some tea because it's cold again. The wind maybe is picking up. I'm halfway tempted to go check out what those birds are circling, but it doesn't really matter if it's an animal because I'm too cold to harvest it. I think I saw a rabbit. Let's just double check if this is a human. I think it's a deer. Yeah. Some feathers though. And then if I can get this rabbit that I may or may not have seen before I start freezing. Only have 2 stones. Yeah, there's a couple of rabbits over here. I'm gonna try to be sneaky with this guy because I don't want to miss. I hate it when they're going like that. Strafing. Okay, into the trailer. Ooh. This other one's walking around still. Don't see him though. Alright, we've got beds. We've got warmth. I think we're gonna have enough food. Doesn't look like there's much of anything in here. but I wasn't really expecting to find much in here. Just a place to warm up. So I'm going to clear the junk like I do. Make sure I'm not missing anything under any beds. Alright, let's harvest some of these materials that we picked up. And then I think, well, depending on how cold it is outside when I'm done here, I maybe sleep for an hour and make it to fishing camp if it's a nice night. Problem with all these little cabins is that there's no indoor fire. And the problem with Interloper is that the outdoor fire without coal doesn't keep you warm. So I do have a few pieces of coal. I was hoping to collect those and bring them to Desolation Point for crafting. But I guess if I have to, I'll use them to be warm with an outside fire. So now I need to make it all the way back. Now I need to make it all the way back to the garage before I can have an indoor fire. Let's see what the weather's like out here. Oh, it's actually pretty nice. It's clear. I'd like to harvest this guy completely. I don't have time. I don't have the calories to do it. I'm not thrilled about walking around with this guy, but I'd rather make the walk than have that thing curing. It's just a little sketchy. Yep, for that exact reason. I guess I do have a torch, but I don't really want to use a match. Decisions. Alright, I think I can avoid him. I was going to give myself a little bit of distance, and if I run into another one, I might just have to pull a torch. So we're going to be coming up on the tooth, and then fishing camp isn't that far, but I am getting cold and I'm getting hungry as well, which is going to prevent me from getting a full night's sleep. I might need to cook these rabbits outside. I guess I don't have to stay outside for them. I can cook them, step inside. I could even do that right here in this car. I would like to be a little closer to a bed though, inside, because if the weather comes in, I'll really get myself in trouble. Hard to tell if there's anything in there, but I'm not going to stop to inspect. Everything is like painfully far away when you're suffering. When you're like chilling and playing Voyager or Pilgrim, going from place to place, just looking around, checking out the views, stopping to check out the cars, snapping a photo or two. Right now I'm just like watching my meters drop and looking at my health and thinking that I'm gonna die. Alright, so I really need to get inside. I did make it. Almost made it. Okay. Take a quick look at this cabin that we're in. A little bit of food, a little bit of tinder. Oops. Okay. Gonna eat. Sardines are actually in pretty good shape. They'll hydrate you a little bit too. I'm gonna risk it and go to the next one. There's not much else in here. Keep my lantern on so I can try to identify this wolf. All three of them are standing. That's awesome. I don't know if sometimes they're destroyed or not, but the fact that they're all here for us right now is great. Different gloves. No sewing kit. We're really like barely holding it together on calories too. I mean, I need a better score with some food, and I really, it's just going to be kind of scavenging these little pieces here and there. Alright, nothing doing in this one. Anything under the bed? Alright. So, let's think about this. I can eat raw meat and be fine. I just don't think I'll recover if I do that. So it's going to be beef jerky and a couple of sodas, and then we're going to wake up hungry. And we're going to need to walk up the hill. So I'm going to make a coal fire with some tea. How much did that even get me? Okay, I can do it. Sleep for 10 hours. Hopefully that'll bring the daylight. Sounds windy out there. An epic blizzard. Just found another box of matches. Alright. Problem with that is twofold. One, we have stuff that we could do, but it costs calories that we don't have. Two, it's costing us time by sitting here, which is costing us calories that we don't have. I'm going to give it 30 minutes by crafting this tinder. And then, yeah, we're hungry. We're gonna have to move. I have this backup can of peaches that's gonna barely keep me from starving. And the weather cleared. So now I need to start a fire. And make these teas. Up here sometimes there's a cabin. And then I can cut over to the creek and walk the creek and make this cabin is burned down. Make a coal fire, make some tea, collect the cattails. Watch out for bears and wolves. I like to get into the creek so that I have a little bit of shelter, but I'm going to be cold before I get there. Just going to go under the bridge here and pray that the weather holds out. Okay. What's the temp out here? It's minus 11. So we need a plus. There it goes. Okay. Fire is going to last an hour. Those take 10 minutes. Oh, I can barely even walk away from the fire. I think we want... Let's see. That warms it up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to do 2 of each, and then I need to make, I need to cook this rabbit. Rabbit takes a half an hour. Take a couple of torches before I forget. There's a good one. Actually, 4 is a decent number of torches to carry if you have good ones, which I don't. So I might try to grab one more before we leave. Warming up slowly again. Plus 23, it's plus 6. don't see anything over there. Just gonna eat that. I'm gonna take a torch. And oh, I should make sure all my teas are hot. This one's already gone cold. Just let them all warm up. One more torch for good measure. Decently warm. Up we go. Bears like to patrol this creek. After all, we are headed to Bear Creek Campground, so it makes sense. I'm going to stop in at the cabin. The Rabbit Grove cabin. See if I can find something. Then we'll be up at the top. And we'll be able to find the train unloading trailer. I'll drink a tea right now. A couple calories, some hydration, and some warmth. Get these cattails, and then I think the cabin is right up here. Oh, I think I see a piece of coal as well. Okay. Oh, jumped up a little too early. Keep on moving. This is the bear cave right up to my right, so this is like the last place we want to stop and hang out. Lots of cattails up this creek. This is a great place to get stocked on cattails for carrying in your inventory for traveling long distances, or just calories in general, because you know they're not much alone, but right here where you can gather them in such a high concentration, we'll probably have 20 or so by the time we get up to the cabin. I'm gonna drink another tea because they're gonna go cold quickly. Still hot now. Oh, but it did. Alright, we've encountered our first wolf. I think I'm probably just going to try to scare him away. Because I don't really want to deal with him. So, as long as that torch doesn't go out. I hit him with the rock. Oops, I dropped something too. I'm surprised he didn't charge. I don't know if he was too far away still or what was up with that, but usually if you aim your weapon... Oh, just gonna take another angle. If you aim your weapon at him, he'll run away. Try that again. There he goes. Alright, we made it to the campground. This wolf is fucking relentless. Get out of here, dude. Lots of tinder that we're picking up too with the cattail head. Alright, I'm going to take a quick sweep through the campground here. Still doing okay. That wolf's going to come back again. I should be able to walk over to the that kind of sounded like I used a match on that. I might have missed the torch when I was trying to light it. Which, there's nothing I can do about it, so it doesn't even matter, but if that's what happened, that sucks. Alright, I don't have a hacksaw, I just realized, so I don't think I can cut down any. I need to get off the slope. I don't think I can cut down any saplings with a heavy hammer. Alright. I think I will... I was going to say I'm going to let the torch go out, but I think I'm going to start another fire instead. If I fail this fire, I'm going to have to chain another torch together because I don't want to risk it. Okay. I'm going to do this to make a couple more teas, heat up the ones I already have. I'm just going to go inside. Come on, Roxie. I know you know how to do this. I'll loot the house while I'm cooking the tea. Try to warm up inside while they cook outside. And then the next stop is the train unloading trailer. We might even be able to peek into the mine as we head up from there. That's a little further away, but there is a mine up here that we can use. I'm just going to go sticks for now, because I'm not going to be out here. I guess I'll boil water while I'm inside. Oh, no way, I'm warm. I wasn't expecting that. +2. Okay, well if that's the case, I can begin crafting these right here, so I can at least keep an eye on the water. 18 minutes until boiled. Minutes. Those will be ready in just a few. We'll just do a quick look. Not a whole lot going on in this little cabin usually. Absolutely nothing today. Except the opportunity for a nap and 2 lockers that we can't open. So we really need to try to find a pry bar and a hacksaw. I'm not sure where either of those things could be, except that the mine will sometimes have a hacksaw. How much water are we still holding? We've got plenty of water. Alright. Take another torch. How many torches do I have? 2 good ones. I think I will take a few more. Once again, hungry. Did I pick up any food? No. Cattails it is. Keep us from starving. Okay. Just using this to get a few more torches. Just gonna grab as many as it'll let me take. Hey, there's a good one. I think I'll get one more out of it too. Make sure these are all hot. They are. Okay. Is that really what it is out here, or is that me standing next to it's -5? So I gotta probably drink that tea. It's a bummer that the fire doesn't like warm you up, you know? I was surprised I was even warm, because a lot of the times I hear a bear. I saw a cattail behind me, but I'm just gonna leave it. There will be others. Just gonna go ahead and drink one of these to warm up. Get a few more calories as well. We've got like a light rate of losing warmth right now, only 1 arrow. The late afternoon seems to be the best time to walk around, especially on Interloper when it's very difficult to move around outside without getting cold. It's the warmest part of the day is like right about now. And unfortunately, it keeps getting colder. It keeps getting colder every day, and I don't know if there's an end to that or if it's every day or every week or what the metric is, but it definitely gets colder as time progresses, which obviously is a major bummer. I'm going to leave the rest of the cattails and move up the hill. Because just when you think you've got, you know, your kit established and you can now move around outside, well, you step outside the next day and it's cold again. And it's back to square one, or back to more of these techniques of making these small fires along the way, keeping hot tea on you, juggling. They've gone cold. Juggling 4 cups of tea. Not sure how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. The problem with being up here is that all of our fires have to be outside. Now, once we get to the train unloading, there is like a little shelter with the train tunnel. And I think that'll be a good place to maybe make a fire and make up the last of these teas. I could try to harvest these rabbits that are running around, but it's almost like more work than they're worth. By the time I get the meat off of them, I use as many calories as I get by cooking the meat, it seems like. I guess I should look at the exact numbers on that, but that's what it feels like. I don't think I can get these hatchet or a pry bar. Pry bar would be a really nice tool to come across. Definitely take a lap through the mine that leads to Coastal Highway and see if we can't I'll never wear those in this world, so those are just going to stay right there. I could break them down for some leather, actually, which I think I will, depending on how long it takes. So maybe I'll take them for now. I'm not too heavy. I kind of need to make a little fire and get my teas heated up. So I'll run over here and do that. Oh, there's a guy over here. This is, I think, always sheltered from the wind in here. I just want a couple of sticks so I can heat these up. Five minutes. Let's just get it done. And we'll drink one for the walk. And the calories up as well. I guess I could try to get one of these rabbits if they're still here. Looks like they hopped away. That's okay. Alright, so from here, I need to kind of traverse a pretty good section of this upper part of the map. And I'm trying to think, I don't know that there's a whole lot of stuff in between where I am now and where I want to go. Unless those 3 cabins are like right down here. Sometimes I forget where those are. Looks like there's a cabin. You get off this slope. We'll go there. See a bunch more mushrooms and some rose hips. There's a good stand of saplings to remember for arrowheads or arrow shafts. We go in that cabin? I'm not sure. Alright, now I'm heavy. For the first time. Yeah, here's a door. Alright, just a quick look. Lantern fuel could be useful. I have a bunch of cattail heads now, so I might not need to be picking up these newspapers anymore. But I'm going to do it for now, until I look. Okay, nothing to do in here. So off we go. Not sure if I can go up and around here, but I'm going to try. Keep as high ground as possible so I can see what's below before I commit to it. Not exactly sure where I am right now. This is the part of the map where I always get a little confused. So it's like the transition from the upper level to like the lower tier. There's like this intermediate section that is discontinuous. I'm holding my warmth pretty well, so this is good. I really need to get this rabbit out of me so I'm not attracting wolves. Okay, so I'm back to log sort. And back to the road, which I don't think is what I wanted to do. I think I wanted to stay up high if it was possible to do that, and I'm not sure if it was. gonna go up the hill past the mine and see if I can link up to the middle / upper tier again. Because what I really want to look for next is there's a trailer below the entrance to the mine that leads to Coastal Highway, and then the overlook, like the old forestry lookout, and then from there there's 3 cabins and I can drop back into the garage. Get off the slope before I hurt myself. So yeah, the question is that road. Where does that road come from? I always miss that. But I think this is right. I think this is where I want to be. This looks a little different than what I was expecting. Because I'm not on the road. I'm going to scamper up here and just try to figure out where I am. And the answer is I don't know. I think, okay, there's the 3 cabins. So I think I just dead-ended myself here. Might have got myself stuck. Yeah, 3 cabins, one of them standing. Let's go check it out while we're here. But I think I overshot. I overshot where I was trying to go, which is unfortunate because now I have to backtrack in the cold. Just gonna quickly look in here. Starting to get hungry again. Nothing really. We'll take these books. They're gonna add some weight, but they'll help with fire starting. Okay. Let's eat a few of these then. Ended up with almost 40 cattails and I skipped a few. So I got scared of the bear that I thought I heard. So, pretty good setup for some food. Alright, now unfortunately I have to go back this way to get to where I wanted to go. How heavy did that make me? Probably shouldn't be walking around heavy. Maybe I make a fire with some of these books and re-up on the torches. Yeah, a good idea. It's starting to get dark. This is kind of an exposed spot. Maybe I can tuck up against this rock and have some luck staying out of the wind. How are we doing on water? Lots of water. Minutes. Maybe I go ahead and do that. And then I can drop the guts. Because I need to find a hacksaw before it becomes valuable to me for the bow. And I won't smell walking around. Okay. I'll leave him by the fire. Take a couple of torches. I'm gonna do this. I have a few more sticks. I'll heat up my tea one more time. Hopefully I got a little bit warmer. Oops. Oh, those are like in the fire. I think you need 10 minutes on a fire to take a torch. Alright. Well, now it's getting a little bit late. I took a wrong turn. I'm fairly close to the garage. I think I'm going to turn around and go back to the garage for a night's rest. Hopefully I can restore the remainder of the condition, although we did pretty good out here today so far. Because I can't sleep anywhere except for these cabins. I guess there's a trailer. I could make it to the trailer. There'll be a bed in the trailer. I just have to make sure I make it. I'm fairly certain that I know where I am, but I overshot this. I overshot this road, and now I'm a little bit disoriented. And with it getting dark and me being heavy, I'm starting to stack up some variables working against me. But there's only so many ways you can go once you're on an established road, so I think I can figure it out once I get to kind of to the next fork here and see what I'm looking at. Oops. Yeah, I think I definitely lit one of these torches with a match earlier. A lot of times there's a hacksaw in the... Okay, I'm right where I wanted to be. A lot of times there's a hacksaw in the garage at Quincy's, but I did not see one today. Let's see if we can get one of these rabbits. Oh, you ran right at me. What are you doing, dude? threw the torch and scared him. Alright, we'll get one chance at him before we go inside here. Alright. That all worked out about as good as it possibly could have. I made a slight navigational error. I'm not exactly sure how I could have corrected that. Maybe you just have to do that switchback. Unless you can walk over a hill that's a little less distinguishable. But I'm warm in here. I have some cattails for food. Not much else. I'm gonna eat some cattails, and then I'm gonna harvest the meat off of these rabbits and probably leave the rest of it behind so that I'm not walking around with wolf bait on me as we head up to the mine tomorrow morning. So let's see how much it costs to get these rabbits. Maybe I just do one. It's 125 calories. Let's see what that looks like when we cook it. Oh, of course I didn't even get a full 480 calories, so technically it's worth it. Okay, I'm just going to leave those behind. And what have we got? 500 calories. It cost us like how much to sleep? I think 9 hours is better because she's been waking up thirsty. So 675. We should be able to make that happen for a couple of days. Alright, well this seems like a pretty good place to stop for round 1 of Roxie the Revenant. It's hit and miss for sure. By no means is she stabilized. But we found a decent kit of clothing, combat pants and trail boots especially. And we also have mittens, and if we can find a sewing kit or a hat, we will pretty much have everything that we could ask for to get started with a loadout for clothing. We also got the heavy hammer literally right away. Found a storm lantern in one of the first cabins that I was in. Actually, I think that was in the garage. A couple of bottles of lantern fuel and a good amount of water, as well as 2 recycled cans. So aside from being at 25% max health, that's really about as good as a interloper start as you could hope for. I've got a couple pieces of coal in my inventory so I can make fire and be warm outside. I've even got some accelerant for fires when I must start it right away. We've got lots of tinder now, and we've got 18 matches after 5 full days of surviving. I guess technically this is where we died, down to 24%, and we've been 3 days at Coastal Highway. So we'll sleep for 9 hours and pick up tomorrow morning, where we will head up to the trailer from the trailer to the mine. Walk around the mine, come back out this side, coastal highway side. Check out the overlook if there's something cool up there, and then head back down to the garage, get organized, and it'll be time to go to Desolation Point. Thanks for spending your time with me today, you guys. For now, we'll say goodnight to Roxie. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. See you on the next one.